Good evening, everyone. He has been called the most powerful unelected official in Alaska. But now Jim Clark, a top official in former Governor Frank Murkowski's administration, is being called a criminal. CBS 11's Grace Jang joins us live in the newsroom. She was inside the courtroom when Clark faced the judge. Grace.
Reagan, 64-year-old Jim Clark, who's a former attorney himself, gave mostly short and polite answers in response to the judge's questions. But when asked whether the facts behind the charge were true, Clark said, quote, "With great anguish and remorse, I admit they are." Now all of this adds a new chapter to the Vigo political corruption investigation. Jim Clark, former Governor Frank Murkowski's right-hand man, pled guilty today in federal court. He admits to conspiring with Vigo executives Rick Smith and Bill Allen to hide illegal campaign contributions from public elections officials. Clark was contrite both in the courtroom and in answering reporters' questions after the hearing.
I've got a lot of atonement to do. I intend to do that and do my very best to work with the government to answer anything I can.
He said he's embarrassed by his actions in 2006, actions to boost then-Governor Murkowski's chances for re-election. Clark said he ordered up more than $68,000 in polls and consultants and asked Vigo to foot the bill.
I was attempting to move his campaign along in a situation where he declared late and didn't have any organization or financing at the time. And there were certain things we needed to get the campaign going, so that was a tremendous mistake on my part.
He said all of that was done without telling his boss.
I never spoke to Governor Murkowski about what I've been charged with here because I wasn't very proud of it at the time. And he expected me, he trusted me to do things the right way, and in this case I didn't do it.
Clark declined to answer reporters' questions about whether the FBI was questioning Murkowski as well.
I'm just going to speak only for myself here today.
He acknowledged he had broken a sacred trust and apologized to the people of Alaska.
Public officials shouldn't do what I did. And when public officials do, it creates a mistrust by the public in their government.
Now, Clark will be sentenced in September, and as part of his plea agreement with the government, he's not allowed to appeal, and in turn, the government will not prosecute him on any other charges. Reagan?
So, Grace, what's going to happen to Clark before he's sentenced?
Reagan, Clark says he will continue to work with investigators on any questions they may have, and in the meantime, he's not allowed to leave the state, and in fact, his passport was confiscated, nor is he allowed to open any credit accounts, and he's required to check in with pretrial officials once a week.
All right, thanks so much. That's Grace Jang reporting for us live tonight.